Hello and welcome to a new video about the Datacake platform. Today I'm going to show you how you can create reports that automatically export sensor data of those devices in your workspace, how you can use that function, and what it can do for you. So first of all, I've created a demo workspace here with devices in it. So in this workspace, as you can see, there are 10 different devices. Those devices are, like temperature monitors. It's just fake random demo data, but basically it's there to show you how you can use the report. So as you can see here, we've got 10 different sensors. They are all recording various temperature information. They all have a dashboard, and you basically now want to export this data on a regular basis. So like every day or every week or every month, and include all the sensor data. And this is how you can do it. So on the sidebar here, you find this element called reports. You click on that, and this brings you into the report section. Right now it says, okay, there are no reports yet, and we are now going to create our first report. So you simply click here on this button. This brings up a new module. This is the first initial setup module. And in here, the first thing that we need to do is provide a report name. Let's call this my first report, very creative name. The report type right now is CSV, so comma separated values. We will support new report types in the future, but right now it's CSV files. And this is already selected. The next thing we are going to set is the schedule. So here you can select if you want that report to be run every day, every week, every month, every year. And you also can define various time slots in here and also your time zone, because that's important for exporting the data in the current time zone. Underneath this picker, there you also see what kind of next executions these are. The report will be run on. And once you're done with setting up everything, you can press on Create Report, and this creates the report, adds it to that workspace. Yeah, the report was created successfully, and upon creation of that report, this will automatically open up the next page, which you can use to define all the additional things, what kind of sensors are in your report, and so on. So first of all, let's walk through the first section. This is a repetition of the first initial module that came up, but additionally, you can also integrate emails in here. So if you want that report to be sent out to your customers' emails, to your own email, you can provide email addresses here. This is optional and not required. I've created disposable inbox here, and let's take this as for this demonstration here. You can also type in different recipients, and they don't need to be members of the Datacake platform. If you run a white label solution, you can also select different branding in here so that the reports do come over your own email address, which is provided in the white label settings. Last but not least, don't forget to press on Save. This will also be shown here in this pop-up. And once we're done, we can continue with the next section. So now the next section is about defining how the reports are being created. So right now, the first thing that we need to provide is a filter of devices. Right now, there is no filter set. That means it returns all the 10 devices which are already here in this workspace. To show you, we can open this up on a different tab. And these are the 10 devices, and they are all included because I haven't set up a filter in here. We can, of course, filter this by device name. This means that we could basically enter some kind of string, words, whatever, and they will then be applied as a search. We also support text. So as you can see, all these devices are having text like group A and group B. And we can use these tags here in our reports and select them like, okay, group A, this returns 5 devices. But for instance, I want also to have group B in that report. And now it returns 0 devices because we have set a matching here. This means that this device or the report only includes devices which have both tags set. But we can press that switch here. So on any tag, and now everything or any device that has one of those tags here defined will be included in the report. Next, you need to define the fields which you want to include in the report. So right now, the report engine takes all of your devices it has found here, and it creates a list of available fields. You can select these fields here. These devices are pretty simple. They only have three different types of field, or three different fields in it. So temperature, battery, and location. And what we can do here is we can access these, and we want battery, and we also want temperature, sorry, and also battery in here. The next section is about defining the time range of the report. So right now, this is standard 24 hours ago up until now. We can also say like, okay, we want the last 7 days ago up until now. This will include the last 7 days up until now. You also can select the time zone in here, so that converts the actual server time to your local time zone, which is super important because reports being created on the server side, and this is like UTC, and we can convert this into the actual time zone where your report is being created. Resolution, something super interesting and important as well. So if it is set to raw data, this means that the report includes the data from how it was injected to Datacake, so how it was coming from your sensor data. What you can do here is you can quantize this to minutes and hours. It's important if you are dealing with super large amounts of time ranges, so like 30 days or something like that, a whole month. This would create super large CSV files. What you can do instead here is you can quantize this based on, let's say, 60 minutes, for example. This does an aggregation of every sensor data within that 60 minutes. It combines it and it creates an average. So if you really want to use the resolution function, but not losing any kind of accuracy, I would suggest you put in at least a resolution of the sending interval of such sender. But let's, for this demonstration, get it back to 60 minutes. We can define the output file type. If you want one CSV file per sensor, you can go for individual files. If you want to combine one, so that means that all sensors are inside one CSV file, you simply select combined. You can override the default file name. There are also some placeholders available. And once you're done with creating your report, you can run this report directly from within the setup dialog. You can press this button here, Run Now. This will run the report on our backend, and you can also press on Reload. And in this case, it brings up here this report which we've just created and defined in here. And let's do the test once more for individual files. Select that, press on Save. We will run this report once more, and if I'm pressing now on Reload, we can see, okay, it has been created. It has created separate files for each individual sensor. So let's take a look at how this looks in your emails. I've defined both these email addresses, but I just found out that this email application isn't working really good. So I've also opened up the email on my personal inbox. And as you can see here, this was the second email. So all of your files from that report are embedded as a link and also as a download in here. And this one was the first where we integrated all sensors into a single CSV file. And as you can see, it's attached here as well. You can download that, open it up with Excel, import it, and do some additional calculations. Last but not least, there is also, of course, documentation available on how you create your reports. We also covered every single setting in here, walk you through the necessary steps, required steps. And once more, we explained the thing of resolution and what this means for the different fields in your database. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it and like our function on creating reports. And as always, I say, thanks for watching. Stay tuned.